Okay, so I'm audible, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, share my screen. Yesterday I asked you uh, to install certain packages. Okay, so the packages which I asked you to install were tidyverse, then ggplot2, dplyr, tidyr. Have you installed packages? Have you installed the packages?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, all of you have installed. Okay, Dipanshu, were you able to solve your problem?
No, ma'am, no.
No. Oh.
Where it
So
was mentioned that we have to install per table string
no.
because
No. Listen, I just asked you to install tidyverse, right?
yeah.
That's okay. It's just the knowledge that within
Acha,
tidyverse,
there are
these
8
are the
boards.
packages. Yeah. So if you install tidyverse in one go, ggplot, dplyr, tidyr would be installed. Okay.
Sorry, I did
So
not install. I will do it after 15 minutes because
okay.
I am on the way to my place.
Okay. Fine. So doesn't matter. So however, this girl and Shabana, they have all the things in place.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So let's start with today's session. So you all can see my screen, right? So we were talking about packages in R and we were discussing about empty cards, right? So I gave you a Am I right? So you all can see my screen, right? So we were discussing about the data available in R and empty cars, we were trying to study that. So if I run question mark empty cars, all of you just on your screen, just have this cars which I pasted on the WhatsApp also. So please paste it on one script. Okay. And we will be running each command to see how to see the syntax of certain commands and to see what all flexibility we have with the data. Okay. So if I write the command question mark empty cars and I run it, so I get all the information about empty cars. So the data was extracted from 1974 Motor Trend US magazine and comprises fuel consumption and aspects of automobile design and 374 I'm talking of. Okay, so it is a data frame with 32 observations, meaning is 32 models of cars are there, and for every car, the data is recorded. For example, MPG, number of cylinders, displacement, horsepower, XP. Okay, DRAT meaning is rear axle ratio, weight, then QSEC, then VS meaning is engine is V-shaped or straight. If it is V-shaped, they have written 0. If it is straight, they have written 1. transmission means automatic or manual. If it is automatic, they have written 0. If it is manual, they have written 1. Then how many number of forward gears, that is in gear. CARB, how many number of carburetors are there, right? So to know about the structure of empty cars, I run the command str empty cars and see what I get output. I get output in my console window and I get it is a data frame of 32 observations of 11 variables, and all the variables are described below. Meaning is whatever columns you have on those cars, they are described below. Can you see $MPG, $CYL, $displacement, and whatever data is there, it is displayed. Okay. Now it's quite a big data. So if we have to see only first 6 rows cars, and this is what we get. Okay. So are you able to run this, Anjali?
Yes, ma'am, I am able to.
To run?
Yes, ma'am.
It shows first 6 rows and tail empty cars. It will show what? Tell me. Anyone else can also tell? It will show me last 6 rows. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So let's see.
Mazda RX-4 Valiant.
Ma'am, 6
Yes.
is default or 5 or 4 or 7 can
6
also.
is 6 is default.
Okay.
Every time you'll see a data, you'll see also there are certain more datas which I ask you to save. Okay, so we will open those datas and we'll apply head on that, tail on that, and we'll ourselves see that it shows 6 rows or first 6 rows or first last 6 rows. Okay, now when I run dimension cars, can you guess what it will show?
मैम अगर डेटा साइज छोटा रहे, यहाँ पे तो 31 ऑब्जर्वेशन है, अगर वो कम रहेगा तो फिर वो कितना दिखाएगा मैम?
वो सारा दिखा देगा, वो भी देख लेंगे। एक छोटा डाटा भी है जो मैंने आपको एक्सेल की जो फाइल भेजी है उसमें एक छोटा डाटा है, तो उस पे भी हम करके देख लेंगे। ठीक है, ओके। नाउ रन डायमेंशन एम्प्टी कार्स, व्हाट विल इट शो? कैन यू टेल मी? एनी गेसेस? Now, what does dimension means? Dim empty cars. Dimension means number of rows and number of columns. This is what it will display. So I run this and I get 32, 11. 32 is number of rows and 11 is number of columns. Okay. Now, if I run name empty cars, please do it side by side. So what does the output shows in case of names empty cars? Can anybody tell me? So it shows the
Ma'am, names of columns
column
like
names.
MPG,
Right.
this
Displacement, horsepower, then rear axle ratio, then weight, etc., etc. Right? And when I run row names empty cars, it shows me the models of the car, and we see that the first one is Mazda RX-4, and just parallel to that, I get Mazda RX-4 WAG, the second row, then third row Datsun 710. Then on the next line, I get the fourth car, Hornet 4 Drive, then fifth, just adjacent to that, like this. Okay. So you should know how output would look like. Okay. Now, when you extract a particular column from the data of empty cars, say I want to see only cylinders. Whatever data, whatever numeric data is there in cylinders, if we want to see that, then we call that through $sign. So just see, I have written empty cars $CYL. Is that okay? So when I run empty cars $CYL, I will get only the column corresponding to cylinders. Okay. And just see, run it and see. This is what I get. So some cars have cylinders, number of cylinders 6 or 4 or 8 or 6. So just see, it is varying from 4 to 8, right? Is it right? Okay. Now, like the column of horsepower, I can know that which car has which horsepower, right? So I'm just seeing horsepower. So I'll get a range that these 32 cars have the horsepower from this to this. So let us see what is the horsepower of these 32 cars. Okay. So it's ranging from, the minimum is 245. Is it right? Oh no, 335. Maximum is 335. So minimum is 52. Changing from 52 to 335. Okay. Out of this, if I want to determine, later on I'll tell you that which car has maximum horsepower, etc. But before that, suppose, let us go line by line. So the next line is mean of empty cars, $car. Meaning is, you have to find mean of the column of empty cars which corresponds to carburetors, number of carburetors. So just run this, and actually using two things here, mean function also, and how to calculate mean of a particular column. Now to calculate mean of a particular column, you have to call that column through $sign, and then you apply mean function. Okay, so just run it. So when I run it, I get mean is equal to 2.8125. Is that okay? Is that okay? Now, if I ask you, any of you, to find mean of empty cars, carburetor, using pipe operator, then how would you do? Can anybody tell me? If I ask you to find mean of empty cars, carburetor, how will you do? Tell me. Using pipe operator. Can anybody guess? Because in pipe operator, whatever you write on the left side becomes the argument of the function written on right side. So can you try finding out mean of empty cars, carburetor column? Are you trying? Tell me. So I won't give you an answer. You try it, and later on I'll discuss with you if you're not able to find. So I give you time. I give you time to find mean of empty cars, carburetor column using pipe operator. Okay. Then if I want to sort the column of cylinder, so I will put sort empty cars $cylinder and it will sort the column of cylinders. Meaning is, you know, the cylinders were ranging from 6, 6, then 4, 6, 8, 6, 4, 4, 4, like this. This was the output, right? So what I want sorting of this thing. So sorting meaning is arranging it in ascending order. It takes ascending order till it is not specified. Okay, let me run this command of sorting empty cars cylinder column. So when I run it, see, I get the sorted value. Is it right? Okay. Now suppose I want to cars. Now empty cars have 11 columns. Okay. So it will give me all the statistical measures like minimum, first quartile, median, mean, second quartile, that is your median, and third quartile, then maximum. It gives me summary of every column which has numeric values, right? So let us run empty cars, summary empty cars, and see the output. And you see, of all the columns, you have got the summary. The minimum value of MPG is 10.4. The maximum value is 33.9. The first quartile is 15.43. Median, mean, everything is given. Then come to second column, all the summary is given. Come to third column, all the summary is given. Come to fourth column, the summary is given. Is that okay? And for every 11 columns, the summary is given. 4 in first row, then 4 in second, then 3 in last. Okay, so I hope you understand. Now, so you are revising your previous commands also, like str, that was structure, then head and tail, then dimensions, then row names, column names, then summary, mean, sorting. Values, it was 1 for 0 for automatic and 1 for manual, right? So we know maximum of 1 0 1 0 would be what? 1 only. So let us see through running this command, maximum of empty cars $am. So you are now AM here means transmission column, which is automatic manual. That's why it's AM written. So you are calling this column of empty cars through $sign, and you are taking its maximum value. So let us run it. Easy, right? Now suppose you want to find those cars which have maximum horsepower. Okay, because when you are deciding upon buying something, you need to know all this, right? So what would be the command in that case? So try to understand the command corresponding to serial number 15. Okay, so row names empty cars means you have to write the row name of empty cars for which horsepower is maximum. So I write the command which dot max bracket empty cars $HP. Meaning is, just see the column of HP in empty cars, see it which has maximum, and corresponding to the maximum value, write the row name. Okay. So have you understood this command? Yes, Geetan, have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you running it on your computer also, side by side?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what about you, Anjali? What about you, Shabana?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing side by
You are able to run and you
Yes, ma'am.
understand this? Those
Yes,
row
ma'am.
names of empty cars for which the horsepower is maximum.
Maximum.
They'll
Yes,
be
ma'am.
displayed. Okay, so
Yes.
it is a good command. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Now come on to that row name of empty Honda Civic. Okay. And row name of empty car for which horsepower is maximum. What is it coming? Tell me the answer. For maximum, it is Maserati Bora.
Maserati Bora.
Okay. And for minimum, it is Honda Civic, right? And what about class of empty cars? What is empty cars? It's a data frame. So data dot frame would be the class of empty cars. And just see the answer. It's data dot frame. Okay. Now, suppose I have to plot certain things. So let us see that and then we'll close this empty cars. So call this variable CYL as of empty cars which correspond to CYL. So I'm calling that column of empty cars through $CYL. Okay. So CYL, in CYL, I'm storing the same thing. Generally, I could have put CYL1 also. So that's okay. R doesn't have this problem. Like we can put the same name also. However, we could have put different name also. CYL1, CYL2. Okay. Similarly, in the space HP, I'm putting the value of column of HP of empty cars. Okay. Then I plot the density of HP and I run it. Okay, so just see, it's giving an error because I have not run this command. So let me run this command so that it is fixed. It is stored in the memory of HP, right? Then plot density HP. Let us run it. What do I get? I get this density plot. Then plot density cylinder. I get the cylinder plot of the density plot of cylinder. Now, if I want to plot cylinder and HP, now you see the values of cylinder were mostly to 4, 6, 8, right? 4, 4, 6, 6, 8. So on x-axis, cylinder would be plotted, on y-axis, HP will be plotted. And just see, the graph should be like, see, mostly cylinders had the value 4 or 6 or 8. So this is how this graph looks like. Okay. So because abscissa is 4 for many cars, abscissa again is 6 for many cars, because if you see the value of cylinder, it was 4, 6 or 8. So that's why I mentioned than 8, right? So this is how the graph looks like. And now if we want to this graph, I'll put my plot character value. Okay. And I want the color to be green. You may put color to be red, violet, brown, whatever you want. Plot character equal to 17 corresponds to, and just run it and see. Is it fine? So you're able to do this much?
Yes, ma'am.
Then but exploring it, there's a lot of data in R. Okay. So just see, as I told you earlier, there's so much data in R. Just run this command and you see these data sets. In this data set, empty cars is one of the data. Let me see where is empty cars showing up. It is alphabetical order. No, but it is not showing. But it should show. Just see, empty class must be somewhere. In your computers, empty class must be written. Yeah, let me see. Let me scroll through. Okay, this is your empty cars, right? You all can see the screen. So we have studied only one data set. There are a lot of data set. For example, Iris, Faithful. Then these are the popular ones. CO2. You see the CO2. Then capital CO2 is one data set. Then Titanic. In Titanic, the survival of passengers on Titanic. Okay, how many males were there? How many females were there? How many survived? There was like class 1, class 2, class 3. They were divided into certain class of society. First class, second class, third class. Then there were crew members. How many people died? So all this information is given in this Titanic because that was something real world. Okay, then a lot of data is here. So according to the time we study all this. Okay, so let me now come on to the first package, which is ggplot2, which we were studying. Okay, so you all know now how to install it. In dplyr, in
Ma'am, your voice is cracking.
okay, maybe this pipe operator we have done. Then we have studied about empty cards. I'll be sharing this. Oh, am I audible? Okay, students.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Actually, I lost the connection in between. Then I had to press this unmute button again. Okay. So I didn't know that. So now, what is the situation about the connection? Am I audible properly?
Yes, yes. Perfect, perfect.
Thank God. Okay. So let me continue. I just want to know, can you install a package, baby names?
Ma'am, your screen is not visible.
Yes, I stopped sharing. So let me again share my this. Just a second. Yeah. Okay. Let me again share my screen. Okay. Okay. So. Okay. So let me. Now you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? You can see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
We are starting with ggplot2. I'll be sharing with you the presentation. Maybe it's a little bit things are left, but they are very easy, so you can do them. Every code is being shared in the presentation also for your reference. Okay, so we now start with ggplot2, which is one of the package to be studied in this workshop. So kindly listen for some time, and then I'll be sharing a code, and both will be simultaneously running that. So ggplot R, it is used for plotting. Okay, especially for data visualization and providing best exploratory data analysis. Care of minute details like drawing legends and representing them. The library is a phenomenal tool for creating graphics in R, but even after many years of daily use, we still need to refer our cheat sheet. So I told you about cheat sheet. Cheat sheet meaning is you can a quick set of compiled notes, concise notes, which we can use for reference. Sometimes it's not possible for us to remember each and every syntax, right? So, but we need it according to our requirement. Okay, so it is, and our requirement is always personal, it's customized, it depends on situation to situation, what we need, what we don't need, right? So, customized requirements are solved using some cheat sheets. Okay, the package works under deep grammar called as grammar of graphics, which is made up of set of independent components that can be created in many ways. Grammar of graphics ggplot2 very powerful because the R developer is not limited to set of pre-specified graphics which is used in other packages. The grammar includes simple set of core rules and principles. Okay, so now the relation between grammar of graphics and R, it tells the user or developer statistical graph is used for mapping see how we map. In our graph, there are many attributes, but we have only two dimensions, x-axis and y-axis. Now, the question is how to show other attributes. So, we generally use color, we use size, okay? We use some other geometry of a point also that we'll be seeing in various illustrations of ggplot. Okay, the plot may also contain various statistical transformations of the concerned data which is drawn on the mentioned coordinate system. Sometimes it also includes a feature called faceting. Faceting meaning is that it is used to create the same plot for different subsets of the mentioned data set. So R includes various inbuilt data sets. As you know, the combination of these independent components totally comprises a particular graphic. Now let us focus on different types of plots which can be created with reference to the grammar. Now, I would like you all to run this code at the moment. Okay. We will understand syntax side by side. Now, first of all, on your computers, write down question mark iris. Question mark iris. Just write on the computer question mark iris. Okay. Now, just see, I'm sharing this code in the chat box also. Just a second. Let me share this code to everyone. Okay. Just see. Can you copy it from the chat box? Just tell me. And somebody can put it on the WhatsApp also. If your WhatsApp is on the laptop, just put it on the WhatsApp group, this code. Somebody can take this duty. Uday, are you here?
Hello. Yes, ma'am. I'm here.
Hey, can you just paste the code of the code whatever I have written in that WhatsApp group? Some people want it on the WhatsApp group because they are using their mobiles.
Okay. Okay.
If you
Just
can
give
paste.
me 2 minutes.
Okay, if it is not possible for you, I'll do it. You tell me whatever is possible for you. If it is not possible, I'll do it. Okay.
I haven't linked my WhatsApp with
Oh,
my laptop,
okay.
so it
Okay.
need
So I'll
little
do
bit
it.
time.
It doesn't matter. I'll do it. So
Okay.
I'll just use it from my where is it? Let me see. Our FDP group. Okay, paste. Now on the WhatsApp also I have sent. Okay, so just run it. Run this code. First of all, see about the iris data. So let me also run it with you. Okay. Okay. So I also copied. Okay. Now I am data and want to see that. Okay. So it gives measurement. It gives measurement of the variables sepal length and width of 50 flowers from each 3 species of iris, and the species are Setosa, versicolor, and virginica. Now just see how iris looks like. Okay. First of all, try to understand what we are doing. Okay. I just run this command iris and what I get output. You also see this. I get this data regarding the length of sepal and petal in plants. Okay, so just see 50 species of 50 flowers from 3 species, meaning is 150 means 150 rows, right? So just see its sepal length, its sepal width, its petal length, petal width of species Setosa, then sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width of Setosa again. So first 50 should be of what? Setosa, right? And then another species start from 51, which is versicolor. Okay, so about versicolor also, we are taking 50 flowers from versicolor until 100. Versicolor should appear, and then from 101 virginica species, right? So on the right side, these species are appearing. Okay, are you getting? So it is how many rows? 150 rows. So this is about iris data. Now we plot this. Now we are plotting what? We are using the function ggplot. Okay. Now what we have to do, what and now AES. AES means aesthetics. Aesthetics. I want to plot the histogram of what? Length of sepals. Okay. And I want the intervals to be 20. Fill equal to white means histogram should be filled. Okay. and then color should be red. Now let me run it. Let me run it. And what do I get? There is an error. So I'll have to look for the error. Just a second. This plus sign has to go here. And yes. Let me see again. It should now run. Okay. Now see this plot. This I got the GG plot of this. And when we are using GG plot, geom bar histogram means 20, meaning is 20 bars should be there. Filling should be of white color. Color should be of red. Now, just change this data. Change a little bit. What you can change? I want you I think I should be before O, right? Right. O. So it gets colored. So let me run this command. So you see the border of this changes to violet. Now, what you have to remember in ggplot, we will do 4-5 examples of ggplot and you will understand the syntax of ggplot. In this ggplot, there is this function of aesthetics, which can take one argument or two argument. Now, when it takes one argument, we can plot histogram. When it takes two argument, we can plot some point. Okay. Now, when we want to plot point, instead of geom underscore histogram, we will use geom underscore point. Okay. So these are the things which I'll be doing further, like in lot of examples. Let us come on to our presentation and let me send you the codes on WhatsApp. So when I send you the codes on WhatsApp, after that you copy those codes and together we will run. So 3-4 codes, I'll do it in one go. Okay.
Ma'am, sorry.
Yes.
I have so an error in ggplot. Iris could not find function ggplot.
Okay. You could not find function ggplot. So
Yes,
you call it library ggplot. Library ggplot2. Do it.
okay, ma'am.
When you will call it, you'll be able to do. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay.
So what I do, I copy certain codes from here and I'll send you. So I just want to ask you one thing. Is my sending you on WhatsApp is the only solution, or you can see from the chat? Please let me know. Do you want on WhatsApp? This is my question. Okay. So I'll send you the codes. Yeah, give it for 5 minutes. Okay. Okay. Okay, so many codes I have copied. Okay, and my draft is saved. So just a second. So I'm sharing it on the WhatsApp. Please copy this. Okay. So around many codes are there. So once you copy it on your screen, I'll move further. Okay. Okay. So let me also copy the same codes. Wait for a second. Yeah. The draft. Okay. So I'm getting certain errors. Doesn't matter. So I'll look on to those errors. Okay. So okay, so have you copied, all of you? Tell me. If you have copied, we'll be learning
ma'am. how different attributes are mapped to different aesthetics. Okay. Huh?
So have you copied from the WhatsApp? Tell me.
Yes, ma'am. Copied.
Okay. All of you have copied?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. Okay, fine. Just a second. Yeah. Plot of iris data. Let me know. Iris data is over. Iris special. Tell me, is iris data over? Static. One line is missing. Just a second. There is some error. Iris sepal length and petal length, color species, geom point, control C. Petal length is fine. Color species is fine. Just a second. Iris data, sepal length. So let us come on to this much. You have done this histogram of iris data. Is it over? Just let me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's over. Okay, so what you have understood from this, first of all, you have to use the command of ggplot. Okay, and then you have to, in the first argument, you have to write which data you want to plot. Okay, so I want to plot iris data. And now in the aesthetics, you have to write which variable you want to, which column you want to plot, and in which form. So you want to plot sepal length. Okay, just close the bracket of aesthetic and you're closing the bracket of ggplot. After that, you write plus sign in this line. If you write plus sign in the next line, it will give a problem. Okay, so you have to remember it. Plus sign should be here only in the previous line. Geom underscore histogram. Now, geom underscore histogram means geometry of this display of sepal length should be histogram. And now in histogram, you have further arguments like how many intervals bins equal to 20. Then you want to fill the grams with white color. You want to color it with violet. Now, if you want to fill it with some other color, say I'd write it brown. Okay. Now let me run and show this to you. So, and the filling is of brown color. Okay. Use. Okay. Now I use again ggplot, another illustration. So iris plot is some variable in which I am assigning. What I am assigning? ggplot. I want to plot this, that iris. Now bracket this comma aesthetic sepal dot length petal dot length means I want to plot sepal length and petal length, and I want to color species. Meaning is I have 3 species: setosa, then versicolor, then virginica, right? These are the 3 species. I want that also to be plotted somewhere seen in the graph. Okay, so this attribute is very, very important. Otherwise, on x-axis and y-axis, we can plot only sepal length and petal length, but we are plotting now color also. Okay, now mix the colors. There are 3 species, so there should be 3 colors. Okay, so that we'll see. And it should be a geom point, means geometry of this plotting should be point form. So I'm writing geom point. Okay, then I write print iris plot. So I want to see this plot, so I write print iris plot. I can write only iris plot also. Let me run iris plot, and there should not be any error in that. You see, in ggplot, it is taking, the species are taking the colors setosa, versicolor, and virginica as red, green, and blue by default. Okay. So this type of graph is possible in ggplot, where you are mapping one of the attribute, which is species, to colors. Okay. You can also map an attribute to the size, meaning is it will take 3 sizes on its own. So that is also an interesting exercise. So all the attributes are shown nicely in the graph. So I hope you like it, this ggplot of iris data, in which you are using the points, and difference is on the species, right? Different colors means different species. Okay, so setosa is of red color, sepal length and petal length both are small. So if you, these data are very important for analysis. You immediately can say that Virginica has a relatively big sepal length and relatively big petal length. So this is data visualization using R, right? If you talk about versicolor, it is having attributes of both Setosa and Virginica, right? This is how you make conclusions. Versicolor has attributes of both Setosa and Virginica, because if you see the sepal length, so versicolor is somewhat in Virginica also, and somewhat the dots are somewhat very near. Okay. So data visualization is possible through ggplot. Okay. So have you run this command, iris plot, ggplot, iris, aesthetic sepal length, etc.? Have you run this command? Tell me. After this, which I wrote, it is actually a copy. I have my system. Okay. So are you able to run? Shabana, what about you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Geetan, what about you?
Yes, ma'am.
You are able to run this?
Yes, yes.
And you have attributed your color to species, right? In this I'm talking of. Okay.
Right.
Okay. So this is something we can really appreciate of ggplot. Okay. Now let us see about another data which is called tooth growth. So we'll see certain data and we can explore more and more by exploring on data. So let me see what tooth growth means. Now tooth growth, in that tooth growth, write capital T and write capital G. Okay, then only you will be able to see this data. So just see tooth growth, write question mark tooth growth, and you will see what tooth growth means. Okay, so you will see tooth growth data is the effect of vitamin C on the tooth growth in guinea pigs. Okay, so this data, so what we see that they give some doses of vitamin C. So vitamin C, say 0.5, say 1, say 2 mg per day, and they give the vitamin C through orange juice. They call it OJ or ascorbic acid. Okay. Okay, and that code for ascorbic acid they use as capital VC, vitamin C. Okay, and the code for orange juice they call it OJ. Okay, and they see how the tooth growth increases or decreases in case of 60 guinea pigs. Okay, so it is on 3 variables. You can see all the information on the tooth growth data through question mark tooth growth. Okay. Now you see it's a data 60 observations on 3 variables in which length, tooth length is given, that is LEN length. Then supplement type, what supplement this a particular guinea pig numbered 1, number 2, number 3 up to number 60 are given either vitamin C or orange juice. Vitamin C meaning is ascorbic acid, because they have specified that vitamins you can read the description and how much dose, that is in numeric means 0.5 mg per day or 1 mg or 2 mg. Now let us see it in the data frame. Let us see the tooth growth. Now to see the tooth growth, we only have to write tooth growth and we have to run it. Now if I don't write tooth growth, can I see it? Can anybody tell me? If I don't write tooth growth, can I see it? Just a general question I'm asking.
No.
No, ma'am, we can't.
I can see because I have been using the select. This what I do. I select and I run. Okay. So if I select only tooth growth here, the word tooth growth, and I run it, then also I can see. I have not selected question mark. So let me run it. So my work is done by just selecting. Whatever I select, that is being run. So what I would have done, I would have written tooth growth and then I would have run it, or I would have selected only word tooth growth and run it, and see, I got. Okay, so it saves time. Every time I don't need to write if I know this select option. Okay, so that's why initially I did this habit of putting select. However, it sometimes wastes time also, because if we are writing every line code, then selecting it or press a control enter. Sometimes it helps, sometimes it's not helpful. Okay, so let's see this data of 60 guinea pigs and see the length of the tooth growth, the supplement they are being given, and the doses. Okay, so this GG plot and all is so much used in the scientific experiments, chemistry and all. So just see, first guinea pig is being given vitamin C, that is ascorbic acid, 0.5 mg, and so on. Then mostly the data of ascorbic acid is given. Then after 30, orange juice is being given to guinea pigs, other set of guinea pigs, right? And some particular dosage of that is given, right? Okay, so in this data, all of you know about tooth growth now. We use the command ggplot. Okay, then I write growth. Actually, one type of plotting I didn't do with you because of the time constraint. That was box plot. Okay, but I inserted it in my presentation. So let us give only 2-3 minutes to that box we are doing in box plot, because this is also one type of geometry. Okay, and we are using it in ggplot, so it should not be something new for you. So just see, this is box plot. When we display the data distribution in a standardized way using 5 summary, meaning is the data is distributed in a form of box. The lowest point in that box would be the minimum point. The highest point in that box, maximum point, and the midpoints, whatever points are intermediate, they are either first quartile, second quartile, third quartile, and mean. Okay, so by looking at the box plot, we can find out what is the minimum value, what is the maximum value, and so on. Okay, so when we display the data distribution in a standardized way using 5 summary meaning is 5 points. They are minimum, then first quartile, then median, then third quartile, then maximum. Okay, so that is called box plot. Okay, or whisker plot. Okay, in our box plot and whisker plot is created using the box plot function. Like we did plot function, we can draw box plot also. We can plot that. So it takes in any number of numeric vectors, drawing a box plot for each vector. Okay, we can pass a list or data frame with numeric vectors as its component also. Okay, so it is used in try a little thing. You can try the box plot of iris data. Okay, so big thing I'm doing. Okay, so just that you be comfortable. So you see, I run this command and I see this box plot and I see that the septal length in centimeters, the minimum is here, the maximum is here, and this is the mean. Okay. This is the first quartile, this is the second quartile. Length. Okay. So in the box plot, you are able to see the minimum value, the maximum value, mean, median quartile, second quartile, third. Now, Anna, are you able to plot the box plot? To plot the box plot. Somebody can has by chance switched on the mic.
ठीक है लास्ट वाली ड्रॉअर में
Can you please switch off your mic?
हाँ खुला दो हाँ हाँ कोई देखना क्या है वहां पे तो फिर भी दूर होगा हाँ
Whose mic is on? Can you tell me whose mic is on? Anyone can tell me whose mic is on?
Hello.
वैसे तो मौसा से कहेंगे ना मौसा को 2000 रुपए
Pratibha ma'am, your mic is on.
Off their mics, okay?
Ma'am.
Yes.
Give me a second, doctor.
So participants are requested to switch off their mics. Is Uday present?
Yeah. I have switched off.
Uday, can you see whose mic is on?
Maybe
It's
Mukesh,
been
it may be
disturbing for
Mukesh.
around 1
Just
minute.
see, Uday. Mukesh may be there.
मैम मैंने म्यूट कर दिया है उन्हें. हेलो.
Okay, so who was the participant?
मिस प्रतिभा.
Okay, so I was teaching about the box plot, right? So I asked you to plot this. It's just a 2-line command, not a big deal. Okay, so can you plot it? Can you plot it?
Ma'am, 2
Yes,
minutes.
Yes, you should plot it and you should answer me at least. You may switch on your mic because the students who are studying are disturbed a lot. What? Geetan?
Yes, ma'am.
You have done box plot?
No, suddenly my GG plot has stopped working.
Oh.
I'm getting some error.
So can you call library ggplot? If the error is ggplot is not recognized or not found, then you do library ggplot. Okay, error. Can you see the plus sign is on the right side or on the next line, extreme left?
It's on the right side.
Of that. The way I have put it, same way you have written?
Yeah.
Okay, so can you share the pic on WhatsApp and we can check?
Of the error which I'm getting.
Of the code which you have written, please share the pic.
Acha, okay.
Okay, so I asked you to write down this code of box plot. See, everything has a meaning. You use box plot function, so you write box plot, right? Then you start with a bracket. Now, what you want to do the plotting of? You want to plot the sepal length of iris data. So you have written iris dollar. With dollar, you call that column. Okay. Then you want to label the y-axis as centimeters, and main is meaning is the heading of the box plot. Okay, so main is used everywhere in plotting, and you just close the bracket and run this command. So this is for box plotting iris sepal length, and you get this type of box plot. This is how it looks like. Now, there are, just for your knowledge, there is one violin plot also. So in box plot, shape is of box. In violin plot, the shape is of violin. Okay, so that is quite an interesting thing. If you study deeply, you'll explore that feature also. Okay, so right now just do box plot of iris sepal length, so that you get an idea what a box plot is, because you have plotted scatter plot, you have done line graph, right? You have done histogram, you have done bar graph, but you haven't done box plot till now. So it's a small illustration. So Shabana, is it over? Box plot?
Yes, ma'am. I'll run.
Okay, you have run? It's done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the meantime, we can share her pic of, okay, she has shared. So let me see, it's GG plot, fine. Then she did what? No, where is it? Okay, so which one should I check? So many are written.
Yeah, I think it's not able to identify GG plot.
Then you call it library GG plot. You just run library GG plot. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now we were on which iris plot, right? And we map the species attribute to color, and we got this very nice graph, right? Now I ask you to for tooth growth. Okay, and we have understood what the data of tooth growth is, but in tooth growth, I'm using the geometry of box plot. So I ask you to do a little bit about that. Just a second. So I illustrated box plot, right? Now I run this command ggplot tooth growth. Now aesthetic is on x-axis I want dose, and on y-axis I want length. Length of the okay. So let me check it how it goes. Okay. So when I run it, see I got this box plot using ggplot, right? And I can add certain things like geom jitter. Now, what is geom jitter? I would ask you to find out what is geom jitter. Geom jitter is a function which gives a little variation points and give it randomness. Okay, so we'll do that. So let me run this. First of all, have you got ggplot box plot? Have you got that? Let me know. Box plot to ggplot. This command I'm talking of. And I make width 0.2. Let me make width greater than 0.2 and see what difference does it give. Okay. So I will make 0.2. Let me sorry, not this 0.8. Let me make it 0.8 and see what is the difference in the graph. Okay, you can see a very minute difference is there. Let me reduce this width completely. If I run this, is 0.2 width. Okay, and here you can see on your system what difference does it give. Okay, let me reduce it completely also and run it. So these type of variations, whatever is required, you can do. Okay, so I don't think it's making a much of a difference. About exploring the commands, right? So not much of a difference is there. Let me make it like this. Okay, how it goes, not much difference is there, so this parameter is not very important. Okay, then geom jitter, let's see this. So when I see this, I see the plotting is done, right? Plotting is also done. So I'm using two types of geometries. One is box plot, one is geom jitter. In geom jitter, it has plotted the points also. Okay, so let me use geom point now. So I told you geom jitter gives it randomness. So the points are actually these. But for overplotting, like we have certain requirements for overplotting the data, we use geom jitter, which gives it a randomness also, like in and around it points. Okay, so I hope you understand. In ggplot, you have first parameter is your data. Second parameter is aesthetics, like what is in x-axis, what is in y-axis, then what type of geometry you want to use. Now what type of geometry you want to use is done through plus command. Okay, you write plus and you write the geometry, then you want box plot, you want geom point, like this. Is that okay? So are you able to do this? Because all of you have the code with you. So when you have the code with you, you only have to run it and see it on your systems. So Geetan, is that problem of ggplot solved?
No, not yet. I
Not
think
yet? Okay, what you can do for right now to carry out with the class, you may type the code again, you may paste the code again in another window, and in that window you call ggplot first through library function, so you will catch up with the class. Okay,
thank you.
okay. So Shabana, are you in these commands?
Yes, ma'am.
ggplot, and now you know how ggplot syntax works.
Yes, ma'am.
First argument is the data. The second argument is the aesthetics, where you have to x-axis and y-axis. X-axis is your dose, y-axis is your length. Okay, then you write plus, then geom box plot. Okay, one thing which I want to tell you is in aesthetics you can write x equal to dose, y equal to length also, but just to avoid over coding, I did not write x equal to y equal to, otherwise it takes both. Okay, so there is flexibility. You can like we sometimes use single quote, double quote, so that is allowed. A little bit of these type of variations is allowed. Okay, so next, Geetan, you may carry out with ggplot. the
Ma'am,
other
can you
student.
please define the difference between jitter and point?
Yeah, jitter gives the randomness. Meaning is it plots certain points here and there, apart from the points which are already there. Okay, so this type of randomness is used in statistical tests. Like they need much of data, but your data is not, you are under data, like your data is not sufficient to run a particular test. Like in some tests, you have to have that the number of observations should be greater than a particular number, right?
Okay.
So in that, those tests, jitter is useful in those statistical tests. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Just see, if you run this point command, you get the points which are actually there in the data. But when you use geom jitter, it is used by statisticians basically to run certain tests. Okay, so
Ma'am,
for
which plot show the actual result?
this geom point shows the actual result, and
Okay.
geom jitter gives a randomness to the actual result.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am. Thank you,
Good.
ma'am.
Okay, welcome. Now I
No, ma'am,
ask
I'm
all of
able to do. I'm
Yes?
able to do now in
Okay,
a new
now you're
file.
able to. Good, good. So one thing I want to ask you, I want to know one more data. I want to explore CO2. Now this is capital CO2. So what should I do? I should write this CO2, right? So that is, let us see what does it mean. So before exploring the data, we should know what we are trying to see, right? So let me run it and see. CO2 is a data of carbon dioxide uptake in grass plants. CO2 data has 84 rows and 5 columns. From all of you, do it side by side because it's hands-on session. If you'll do it, you'll understand it and you'll remember it also. So the CO2 data frame has 84 rows, 5 columns. From an experiment on the cold tolerance of the grass species, some grass species, Echinocea or Cruz Galli. Okay, so let's see what type of columns are there, what type of rows are there. So some grass species, so 84 rows have been studied, right? And what it is giving? Let us see the CO2 uptake of 6 plants from Quebec and 6 plants from Mississippi were measured at several levels of ambient CO2. Half the plants of each type were chilled overnight before the experiment was conducted. So there are many attributes. Some are from Mississippi, some are from Quebec, right? The species. Then some are given the treatment of chilled, some are given the treatment of non-chilled. So let's see what the CO2 is. So can I see this CO2 without writing CO2? That's my question.
Yes, ma'am.
By?
By only clicking on
By
select
only
the
selecting CO2. I don't
Mhm.
select the question mark and I run my command. Let me run it. Now see the data I got. Now this is the data. Please see on your systems also the data. So this is plant name QN1, QN1, QN1. Fine. Then type Quebec. One was from Mississippi, one was from Quebec. Then what type of treatment it is given? Chilled or non-chilled? Okay. Then concentration is one attribute, and uptake is another attribute, right? CO2 concentration and uptake. Okay, so this type of information is given in this data, and we do a little bit of plotting here. So I have used certain things here, but they are not required by you completely, but they can be required by you at a later on stage wherein you come upon creating a linear model. Okay, so I have used certain other functions. Just you can use this as a cheat sheet, right? That certain things are there. So you see, first of all, in ggplot, I asked you what is the argument. In the argument, you write the data. So that is CO2, right? But here, I'm using my pipe operator. When I write it on the left, it automatically becomes the argument. So here I'm writing CO2 pipe, then ggplot. Now in ggplot, I'm not writing CO2 because I have piped it using pipe operator. That's why I told you about pipe operator. Now aesthetics, I want to map on x-axis concentration and on y-axis uptake. And then I want to see which treatment is given to which plant. I want to see non-chilled or chilled. So I'm mapping the color attribute to treatment. Okay, and then I want this plotting should be of size 3. I can increase the size, I can decrease the size. Then I want to create a linear model in which I write geom smooth. That is a function to be needed by statistician. Linear model, then standard error false. Means no standard error, zero standard error. Those are the things which statisticians require. Okay. Then facet wrap type. What does it mean? Now faceting, what does it do? It plots the subsets of the graph in one graph. Okay, so many graphs will appear in one graph, and the title should be concentration of CO2, and the theme I'm choosing black and white. Okay, so there are a lot of options of themes. Once you type and once you start using all these functions, you will able to explore, because whatever function you are using in ggplot, if you Google it also, you'll get a lot of options. If you just I let me type theme underscore BW. When I type theme underscore, see, I get so many themes, right? But I'm choosing black and white. Okay, so you're getting me? So this is how you explore a particular option or particular function in ggplot. Okay, so you write a little bit, you'll get a lot of options. So let me run it and show you, and you can also run it. Okay, so yeah, now just see what I got as a result. You see, treatment is red and non-chilled is
Ma'am,
red, chilled
ma'am,
is red. Yes.
ma'am, there error showing in my
Okay, you see
pipe.
the code. Listen, you see the code, plus sign is written on the rightmost.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can you send me a pic right now, fastly?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Yes, that is the best option. So when we run it, we see that facet wrap type. Now what you do, you don't just run only this much of code. Okay, so when I run this much of code, I see according to my requirement, I'll do the things, right? So when I do this much of thing, I do little things. Okay, so I get this type of plot. Is that okay? Now what I do, geom point, let me increase it. I increased it a lot. I made it 13 just to see how it appears. Some people want it very big plots. Some people want it small plots. So this is how, just copy paste each of the things. Now, if I don't do facet wrap, I won't be getting the subsets. If I do facet wrap, I'm getting a subset. I know what Quebec and Mississippi, those are the subsets. So I got Quebec separately, Mississippi separately. Okay. If I don't want lab title, I won't put it. Plus में remove कर दो, theme में remove कर दो. मतलब whatever you require, you put it. Statistician people need linear model, they will use it. Okay, is that okay? So according to your requirement, you can use ggplot. Okay, now suppose I want box plot. Okay, I want box plot of this CO2 data in which x-axis is mapped to treatment, y-axis is mapped to uptake. Then I want the box plot. Then geom point. Now this is very interesting. I am mapping geom point size equal to concentration, color equal to plant. Okay, so let us see. There are so many plants. How the graph is shown. Then facet wrap, I wanted the subsets to be plotted. Then coordinate flip, I want a flip of coordinates. Just in this, remove coordinate flip and then do coordinate flip. Okay, then you will see the difference. Now let me run this also, and then Shabana, I will look into your if in the WhatsApp. See how I get this plot. Very interesting plot I got. Now let's try to see. I want faceting. Faceting meaning is I want subsets to be plotted. Now subsets, one class is Quebec, the other is Mississippi. So those are the subsets. I want boxed plot. Okay. Now I have mapped color to what? Plant. So see, in the plant, whatever plants are there, they are of the colors are being mapped to them, right? What about concentration? Concentration 250, 500, 750,000. That is if the size is big, the concentration is more. If the very small point, the concentration is very less. Okay. So you see, you map so many attributes to either color or size and see a very uh, nice graph in which all the attributes are being shown. Okay, so this is the quality of GG plot, that you can see your color. Acha, now let us do coordinate flip. Let me remove coordinate flip for the time being. Let me do Control X, and I am not flipping the coordinate. If I'm not flipping the coordinate, how my graphs look like? See, and if I want to flip the coordinate, how my graphs look like? Let me see. Just a second. Yeah. So let me see how it looks like. So there are options. You see what you wanted. You wanted treatment on x-axis and uptake on y-axis. But suddenly at the last point, suppose you are in some big company and you have to make a presentation, and at the last point they ask you just flip the coordinates, do according to what we want. So what you will do, you can use coordinate flip immediately and you can flip the coordinates. Okay, so when you flip the coordinates, what will happen? Whatever you have given aesthetic on x-axis treatment and y-axis uptake, that will interchange. See, on y-axis you got treatment in the graph, and on x-axis what you have got? You've got uptake, right? So these are the very nice functions of ggplot for making very impressive, beautiful, and very knowledgeable graphs which show and which speak actually. So the colors are mapped to different plants and concentration is mapped to sizes. So you have seen these type of examples. So then the point is, learn more about ggplot, you have to explore more data and see according to requirement what all you need. Okay, is that okay? So I think I have given you all the codes, right? So you can just copy paste and run them and see how the things change. Okay, so you are introduced to a lot of functions like geom point, geom histogram, then geom box plot, then geom jitter, which is a completely new thing. Okay, so so just run all these commands, and in the next session we are exploring two more packages, and they are called dplyr and tidyr. Okay, is that okay?
Thank you so much, Gunjan ma'am.
Okay.
So we will start the next section at 12 p.m. and the feedback for this session will be provided on this on your WhatsApp group. Please fill it. Thank you so much.
Welcome.